Hello, my dear students. Myself, Dr. Pitambar Umne, founder Botany for You, and working as Associate Professor and Head Department of Botany, Dharampet MP Dev Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. I welcome you all in this online platform for the students of Life Sciences Botany for You. If you are new or not yet subscribed our YouTube channel, then kindly like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You. Today, we will see the another lecture in this series of lectures in genetics, and our today's topic is transposable genetic elements, and that is also known as jumping genes. This topic is also included in the UG as well as the PG syllabi of the different life science subjects in and around the nation. So, first of all, the question arises, what are the transposable genetic elements, or simply transposable elements? The transposable genetic elements are also known as jumping genes. They are also known as mobile elements. They are also known as cassettes. They are also known as insertion sequences, and they are also known as simply transposons. If we see the gene or the genetic map for any organism, and if we see any chromosome, then the genes are located on this chromosome in a linear fashion, and also the position of these genes is fixed on these different chromosomes. But when we are talking about the jumping genes, it means that there is a change in the position of the genes along the chromosomes. So, when we are talking about the definition or the meaning of the transposable genetic elements or jumping genes, then it is the genetic sequences or the DNA sequences which can translocate from one chromosome to other or in the same chromosome. Say for example, if here there is a presence of the certain sequence of DNA molecule, and if this sequence of DNA molecule is transferred to the another location of the same chromosome or the other chromosome in the same cell, then such a type of the DNA molecules or the segment of DNA are known as transposable genetic elements or the jumping genes. And these transposable genetic elements first time were discovered by Barbara McClintock while experimenting with the corn, and this discovery was carried out in 1965. For this, Barbara McClintock awarded with the Nobel Prize in 1983. On that basis, we can understand the importance and discovery of these transposable genetic elements. So, how the Barbara McClintock carried out this experiment on the corn plant, we will see in the next slide. As the Barbara McClintock, when was working with the different crosses on the corn, she found that there is a variation in the color of aileron layer of the corn. So, if you see the corn seeds, here there is a presence of endosperm in the center, and there is a covering to this from outside. So this is known as aileron layer, and the differences in the aileron layer were found because of the presence of some specific type of the genes. She crossed the two different plants carrying the alleles, that is capital C and C dash and C dash. She selected the female plant with the allelic combination, that is capital C and the male organism with the C dash. So when we are talking about the formation of the endosperm in the angiosperm, then the endosperm develops from triploid primary endosperm nucleus, and this triploid primary endosperm nucleus is a fusion of secondary nucleus and one male gametes, and this secondary nucleus is fusion of two central nuclei. So in this way, the endosperm is a triploid structure in which the two sets are contributed by the female gametophyte and one set is contributed by the male gametophyte. And hence here in this cross we find that here the two genes, that is the two sets, were contributed by the female organism and this one is contributed by the male. Here the C dash is a allele which is responsible for the inhibition of the aileron layer color in the corn. It means that when there is a presence of such a type of the combination where the C dash is present, which is inhibitor of the aileron layer color, and hence if this combination will be there, the kernels will be colorless. But later on she found that there were many organisms developing the kernels with their color as well as the colorless, and this mosaic pattern of the kernel is found because of the change in this genetic composition. And later on she found that there is a loss of this segment of the gene which is responsible for the inhibition of the color. Later on she found that here this loss of this gene is because of the presence of dissociation factor, which is denoted by DS by her. And also this dissociation factor is not alone is responsible for the separation of the C dash gene. So she found that there is a presence of activation factor and it is known as the AC. So this is responsible for the activation of the dissociation gene, and this dissociation gene is responsible to break or separate this C dash gene. And because of that, here this acentric fragment is lost because here the presence of the DS fragment. So this DS, that is the dissociation factor, is responsible for this separation of the C dash, and hence the combination of the endosperm becomes now dash CC, and this dash indicate the loss of the part of the chromosome. And because of this, because of absence of the inhibitor genes, now this combination will be responsible for the formation of the kernels, that is the colored ones. And where there is a presence of C dash, that is will be responsible for the formation, that is the colorless. And in this way there will be the formation of two different type of the combinations, that is the alleuron with the color in absence of the inhibitor gene, and the alleuron without color in presence of gene, that is the inhibitor genes. And in this way she found that here there are the certain sequences on the chromosome, and that sequences are responsible for the dissociation of the certain part of the gene, and these genes can insert anywhere. So such a type of the sequences which are responsible to change their position in the chromosome, they are known as the mobile elements, transposable elements, or jumping genes. And here the DS and AC are considered as a transposons or the jumping genes, which are responsible for the deletion of the certain genes or the fragments of the chromosomes. So it is responsible for the deletion, deficiency, insertion, or some of the deleterious effect on the different genes or the chromosomes also. If you see the characteristic features of transposable elements, then they were found to be DNA sequences that code for the enzymes which bring about the insertion of an identical copy of themselves into new DNA sites. This means that here the DNA sequences are responsible for the production or the synthesis of the certain enzymes, and these are responsible to insert themselves in any place in the chromosomes. The transposition event involve both recombination and replication. Even this site of the DNA molecule that we are considering the jumping gene or the transposable elements, they undergo the recombination also as well as the replication also, and hence there is a possibility of the formation of the multiple copies of the transposable elements in an organism. The insertion of transposable elements invariably disrupt the integrity of their target gene, because there is no any specificity of the insertion of the transposons into the particular site on the chromosome, and hence here it can insert anywhere on the DNA or the chromosome, and hence it is responsible to disrupt the integrity of their target gene. Say for example, if this is a one gene and in between it there is a insertion of the target sequence or the transposon, then automatically here this central part will be considered as a transposon, and hence this gene will be divided into the two parts. So such type of the integrity of the gene will be disrupted by the transposons. Since transposable elements carry signals for the initiation of RNA synthesis by sometimes activated previously dormant genes. So even the transposable elements are responsible to carry the signal for the initiation of the RNA synthesis, and in such a type of the cases, if there are the certain dormant genes in the body or on the chromosome, then they will be even activated because of the insertion of such transposons. Then a transposable elements is not a replicon, just like to that of the plasmids. As we have seen, in the plasmid there is a presence of the origin, and because of that there is a formation of multiple copies of the plasmid in the bacterial cell. But such a type of the origin is found to be absent in the transposable elements, and hence they are not replicon. Thus, it cannot replicate apart from the host chromosome, and hence it must be replicate with the host chromosome, and the way the plasmid and the phages can, and hence it is different than that of the plasmid and the phages. Then no homology exists between the transposon and the target site for the insertion. As earlier I said, here the insertion of the transposons or the jumping genes in a particular chromosomes or the sequence of nitrogen bases is not there, and hence it can insert at any place on the chromosome, and hence it is somewhat deleterious to the certain genes because they will responsible to disrupt the integrity of the genes. So these are the different characteristic features of the transposable genetic elements or the jumping genes. Here there are the two different types of the transposable genetic elements, and first one, that is the simple transposons, and the second one is a complex transposons or the transposons. The simple transposons are also known as insertion sequences, that is the IS elements, while the complex transposons are also known as the simple transposons or the TN elements. The simple transposon carry the genes, that is the transposase genes, which is used for the transposition of the DNA fragment, so that this DNA fragment or the DNA segment with the help of this gene can insert at any place in the chromosome. In addition to that, there are the presence of the certain inverted repeats at both the ends of these insertion sequences. But unlike to that of the simple transposons or the insertion sequences, the complex transposons are bigger than that of the insertion sequences. Usually, the simple transposons are from 800 to 1500 base pairs long, while several thousands base pair long are the complex transposons or the transposons. Here in this example, here there is a presence of toxin genes which are responsible for the resistance just like to that of the ampicillin. In addition to that, here there are the presence of inverted repeats at it both end, and even there are the presence of the insertion sequences at its both the ends. These insertion sequences are responsible to help this toxin gene to introduce or insert into the any other position on the chromosome. So basically there is a difference in between the structure of gene as well as the length of the gene with respect to the simple and the complex transposons. Then the examples of the transposable genetic elements, though there are the many organisms in which the transposable genetic elements are present, here we have to take some examples. The first one, that is the transposon 3 of E. coli, that is the TN3 transposon. If you see this, it is 4957 base pair long, and it is divided into three different sequences of the DNA which are separated from each other by inverted repeats. So at both the ends of the transposon of E. coli, there are the 38 base pair inverted terminal repeats in opposite direction. See here the arrow in this direction, and to the right side terminal end it is present towards the left direction. So such a 38 base pair inverted terminal repeats are present at both the ends in transposons of E. coli. In addition to that, there is a presence of TNPA genes which is responsible for the transposition of the genes, that is the insertion from one place to the another place, that is the jumping or the mobile condition. In addition to that, here there is a presence of another gene that is known as the resolvase or the repressor, and this is responsible to control the insertion of this transposon. And again, there is a synthesis of the enzyme, that is the beta lactamase, that is also involved for the resistance to the E. coli. And in this way, here the resolvase, then beta lactamase, and again transposase, they are also separated by certain inverted repeats of nitrogen bases. The second example from the bacteriophage is the MU, and MU indicates the mutator because it is responsible for the mutation of the gene. Here this is a gene, that is the lac gene, and the insertion of MU, that is the bacteriophage MU, which is the transposable element, is inserted in between the lac gene, and hence here the lac gene is disrupted into the two parts. So in this way, the activity of this gene is inhibited, and such a type of the MU DNA lac is formed by the combination of the MU transposable element to that of the lac gene of the bacteriophage. The third example, that is the East TY elements, that is the transposable for the T and the Y for the East. Here this transposable genetic element is 5900 base pair long, and it is terminated at both the ends by inverted repeats. These inverted repeats are known as delta sequences, which are 340 base pair long at both the sides. And as these are known as the delta sequences because see here the direction, they are in the same direction and not in the form of inverted repeats. This TY element of the East is carrying the two different genes, that is the TYA and TYB. So such a type of the many transposable genetic elements are even present in the Drosophila, mice, and snapdragon, that is Antirrhinum majus, etc. So because of the discovery of the transposable genetic elements, we are able to identify the certain genes which are responsible for the transposition within or in between the chromosomes. And during mapping or the genetic map formation, the study of the transposable genetic elements becomes essential. So thank you very much for kind listening of this complete lecture. I am very much hopeful that this lecture will be helpful to you in your studies. If you like this lecture, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You. and also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on YouTube channel on different life sciences titles. Thanks a lot once again.